Okay, so here I got it set up at the hive that got robbed out. And Tuesday I went and I had a frame of honey in the deep freeze. So I gave them a frame of honey, and now I'm going to see if I got anything left in there. I have a 5-frame nuke. See, there's a little ball of bees. That's getting it on the camera. So it's not completely hopeless yet. You'll see some signs of robbing here, starvation. Not a lot going on this frame. So here's where there was brood. The brood obviously is dead now because nothing's tending it. And I don't think I have enough bees here to actually do anything with a ball of brood this size. So my hope is dead bee was on it. Get dead bee parts out of it. There's one, you can see it right there where it had its, at the end of my hive tool, where it had its head buried, trying to get something to eat. You know, just once again, another sign of starvation. Could have been prevented if I'd have realized that was going on, but I didn't. So here's the frame I saw the queen on the last day. Let me give him a little puff of smoke. My new date ant smoker. I like date ant smoking products. So here you can see there's a little cluster of bees right there, and beside it, all those little dots, I don't know how good it's coming out in this video, are the ones that are starved out. So I'm gonna look for the queen and try to get her marked. And then what I'm probably gonna do is pull a, if I don't see any signs of laying brood and all, I'm gonna pull a frame of brood. There's nectar in there. They've set nectar in their cells, so that's good. They're foraging. I can see they're bringing stuff in. And I'm gonna set this in the nuke in the same orientation that I pulled it out. I'll probably just go 3 frames for now. Okay, here, some more starvation. They had plenty of pollen. Here's a hive beetle. Smash that guy. We don't put up with the cons around here. Anyway, I'm sure the queen is in this ball of bees somewhere, but I don't see her. I saw her the other day. There's a bee with its tail shoved in the hole. Can't tell if that's the queen or not. Probably not. And she's a real dark queen too. It's easy to miss her. And is that? No. That's another. Yeah, she was like in the bottom of a deep ball of bees. Hopefully they still got a queen. Anyway, I don't see her there. Let me pull the other frame back up. I'm not seeing the queen. Let me go through the rest of this hive. Make sure she's not in there. I think she should be really easy to spot for a small group of bees. But like I said, it took me a while. I missed her last week. Worst case scenario is I set a frame of brood and nurse bees, and it becomes a split, which is a little early in the season for me to do splits. I am seeing some drones. In here, no bees at all. The rest of those frames. See more dead bees. I'm gonna move this hive to another location. You see there's bees stuck to the frames in here. From the fighting, I'm sure. There's a pile of dead bees at the bottom. And they did their best to fight off the invading hive, but just in the end it didn't work. I'm gonna put the top. So here's my little nuke. It's pink. I'm gonna put the top on. I didn't see any signs of brood. I did have a queen in there Tuesday. There are all the dead bees. This trying to see signs of a queen. She did not have a mark on it. She had a very black tail. It would be harder to spot now because she would be reduced in size. She's died. There's sugar on the bottom board. I use these screen bottom boards to reduce the entrances. Okay, well, I don't see anything. I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera while I get this cleaned up and move the bees in their new hive over to this location. Okay, so we're at the hive that's been doing the robbing. As I said, there's two mediums. We're jam-packed full of bees. I moved one of the supers down to the bottom so they would hopefully move into that and start laying where they wouldn't be so packed. I think I had a swarm situation getting ready to start. You see a bunch of bees moving in and out the front of the hive, unlike the rest of them. You know, this hive is really active. Strong group of bees. They got pissy with me. Stung the hell out of me. So after I start the camera for this one, which, you know, we're already rolling, I'm just going to keep on going. If I have to, I'll get away from it and pause it. But hopefully it won't be too long for y'all. Okay, so let me shoot a little bit of smoke in the top. Smoking from the top and bottom. second. I don't really have a lot of patience with these bees right now. I'm down 4 hives. I'm not too sure about that one I just showed you. But I'm planning on using these for a split. I got 6 queens coming. That I ordered through my bee club, and I'm planning on making 4 out of this. I got some more bees in another yard, and I'm going to requeen 1 hive in the other yard, and then figure out where to put 6 queen at. See, you can see there's no activity going on in the deep. There might be a little bit on the bottom, we'll find out, but my experience, if you don't see a bunch of bees across the top, then they're not using it. Okay, let's get this camera set right. They might have already swarmed. I hope not. Just like I said, I want to keep that population of bees. Let's get my clothes here real good. So I had them crawling on. I got my first stings of the season. I had 2 underneath my jacket. I just had a jacket and a pair of pants. I wasn't expecting that big a problem. Okay, so looking at the bottom of this, there's a few bees crawling around on it, but not that much. Not a lot of activity. I see bees. I don't see quite as many as I saw the other day, but it was cloudier, and I'm sure there were more foragers in the hive, which was probably why I was getting lit up. Don't see much in this. There's a hive beetle trap. Sat in there all winter. Full of ants on one end. Dead ants. I'm hoping to find a frame with eggs and young larvae. No queen. If I can spot the queen, that would be a plus. I haven't seen her since I put her in a couple years ago. I've done a few splits, usually walk-away splits, so I didn't really worry that much about the queen staying with the hive. So they got a little bit of nectar in this one. Set this on up to the top. These are real calm. I think we don't have any field bees like we did the other day. They were probably just overrun with field bees, and that's why they were so pissy. They were acting really well this morning. So here's a frame, pretty well laid up. It's got larvae in it, some young larvae. We'll keep that in mind. This might be one I pull. It's like I said, I had a queen the other day, even though I didn't spot her today, and I can always reunite them back with the hive. If I got a problem hive, I usually go into it once a week. And then, you know, if I got a good honey producing hive like this one, if I was using just to produce honey and not repopulating my apiary, I would leave it for every 2 weeks. Realistically, that's what most beekeepers do. You go every 2 weeks, and the ones that are keeping track of what's going on, there's always some that just don't really keep up with it. I guess I can't knock them a whole lot, because the only difference I see is I know how my hive died. They probably come back and go, well, I don't know what happened. Alright, so like I said, I'm checkerboarding. I took these girls' robbing screen away. They used to have a robbing screen. Since they were doing all the robbing, I didn't really think they needed it. Also checking for the queen. Once again, I'm seeing brood and some larvae. It'd be nice if I could spot the queen, and then I could just pull any frame I want to put in the air hive. There's a drone. She used to have a red on her back. I think I got a green Sharpie. I don't have a red one with me, but if I do spot her, I'm going to give her a shot of green. So now, I'm seeing a lot of cat brood in these center frames where they usually do their brood rearing in the middle. They keep the honey to the outside. Some nectar around the sides, so they're bringing in resources. There's one with pollen sacs. Looking for somebody to take her pollen, I guess. And I don't see the queen here either. I'm not going to take any more out of this top. I am going to say checkerboard. Continue looking for the queen. So there's a couple of queen cups on the bottom of this. I don't see anything in them. Getting ready. If not this week, they'll probably be looking next week. They are really calm today compared to what I've had Tuesday, which, like I said, it was cloudy. We had a lot of sunshine earlier. It's not as sunny today. Okay, I'm not gonna bore y'all with a regular hive check. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the camera, and then if I get something more interesting, I'll bring it back up. Okay, so I found a good frame with eggs and larvae and full of nurse bees, and I stuck it in here. And now I'm just gonna smoke the piss out of them. Try to smoke them real heavy. They got a whole frame of honey. At the worst case scenario, I moved the queen over here. And I didn't see the other queen. You know, after that, you say, well, he did a split. Basically, I did a split. I'm gonna leave this brick sitting up. But I looked real good on the frame that I moved over there, and I did not see the queen, which doesn't mean she's not there. I've screwed up in the past, so. But it's no big deal. If I make a mistake, that's just part of it. Nobody's perfect. And the bottom super looked like there were bees, and they're doing stuff. I am going to go ahead and look through the rest of this, and I'll pause y'all if I'll bring y'all back up if I find the queen. And I found the queen. I took my eyes off of her. She's just past my finger right here. You can see her long tail. Lovely lady. She's gonna get a green dot. No, I don't have my, wait a minute. No, I don't have my marker pen. I forgot to put it with me. Anyway, so I know I didn't screw up. got a small opening with some screen in front of it. You can still see dead bees from when they got robbed. You know, they've been reduced. I got 4 frames in there now. Might just go ahead and set, I got those ones in the that I pulled off. I'm going to just go ahead and set some drawn. Anyway, hopefully the brood that I gave her is going to give her enough to start laying again. And if the queen is gone, I did not see her, then I'm initiating a split. And in that case, it's nothing lost. All I got to do is either get another hive of bees or just start over. You know, I can put a queen in here, and that'll be one of my new queens. So if they don't have anything going on next week, I'll inspect them Thursday or Friday, and then I'll probably split up that one big hive into 5 nukes and put that in my my apiary where I do my little nuke yard. It's on the front of my property in a riding ring. And that's all I got for today. Thank you.